25. Knocked out by Alex Road as they kicked it, and they were trying to kick it to Sewell. It just didn't get that far. Bringing it back, Tommy, 81. Who you got on that?
Tim Pogue, P-O-G-U-E, one of the up receivers, making that run back for Columbia. And at the 26, that's probably their best, Terry, unless I've forgotten something. That's one of the best field positions they've had.
Second best, Tommy. We turned the ball over on downs on the 30-yard line earlier in the first quarter.
So Columbia will start from the 26 with a win behind their back. Wishbone, take it, Pillow runs the option and keeps it, and he'll lose yardage. Back to the 24 is Ronnie Pillow was running the option, and Carlos Kendall was there to knock him down on the 24. He lost a couple out of it. It'll be 2nd and 12. We'll also say hello to George Presley, who's listening tonight, Tommy, and you may have somebody.
Rick Thorne out of the hospital now after a gallbladder operation, and hope Rick's doing well, recuperating at home.
2nd and 12. Pillow had made a couple of earlier runs for good yardage. It's been a while since he's done that. Sweep left, right. Here he comes. And he hit him. He got away. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30 out of bounds on the 28. We had him stop, people, and he erased it, and he broke it all the way to our 28. Running the football, number 20. And Frierson run it to the 20. We had him stopped on the line of scrimmage, and he broke it away. We're up 24-0. Biggest gain of the night for Columbia. Terry, how far?
48 yards, Bruce, from their 24 down to our 28, first down, Columbia.
Columbia on our 28-yard line. Power eye left. Pillow takes it and dropped it, and the flags went flying. I think their right tackle moved. Pillow fumbled the ball anyway. Columbia may have a flag here, or do you take the play? Let's see. The whistle blew. They may have to take the penalty. The penalty I don't think you even get to talk to the defensive unit. They just step off 5 back to the 33.
Apparently they had somebody lined up in the neutral zone off sides, and if that's the call, then they really shouldn't even have gotten the ball snapped. The whistle was blowing as the ball was snapped.
Columbia comes out with a power eye left with a split into the right. Take it, and they run that option, and Pillow tries to keep it. He won't go anywhere. He really probably should have pitched that thing as he cut it in. We've got a whole host of people there to knock him down. Clemens and C and
Donnie Self coming off the bottom of that pile. And Terry, Pillow's numbers tonight's running the football.
Tommy came in with over 1,000 yards rushing tonight, 9 carries, 39 yards.
On that play, he lost about a half a yard back to the 33 and a half. It's going to be 2nd down and 15 and a half. Columbia on our 32 and a half. Pillow calling signals and runs the option again and cuts it in, and flags are flying everywhere again. He gets to the 30, there's a flag. Man, last week we seen a lot of flags, and this week the same thing. I think it might be holding again, man. That guy loves to call holding. I believe that's what the penalty will be on this time Columbia. Last week, Tommy, there was 5 holding penalties in that game, and this week's been no exception. Here goes one against Columbia. Holding Columbia. Take it back to the 40.
And really, that's a lot of holding calls. Normally, if you see that a couple of times a game, that's about par for the course, maybe. The mark-off goes against the Lions of Columbia, and they're going to be looking at 2nd down and long yardage.
So Columbia gets the holding penalty, and they take it back to the 41. And the flag, I guess, was on the 31, so they take it to the 41 and lose 10. And now it's 2nd down, and they've got to go to about the 18. They're on the 41. Phyllis calling signals. Wishbone takes it, looks for the hot pass. Now he's going deep, way down the field. He threw that one on the track. Incomplete. Trying to hit somebody over there on a fly pattern or a fade down on about the 28, and that one just overthrown down on the 28. Incomplete. 3rd down and long.
Carlos Kendall returns to the ball game. Steve Rose checks out at the defensive end. Rose had been in for about 3 snaps. Jeff Ashley goes in at defensive tackle. In the apparent passing situation, Donnie Self comes off the field. So we've got some quickness up front as we've got Ashley, Defendahl, and Hicks at the front 3. The linebackers, Marlowe C. and Brian Clemens.
Columbia comes out this time in a different set with a split into the left and a wing, and they run that option into it, and they keep it, and Pillow won't get anything. I think he's making his mind up. He's going to run the football. He should be pitching that thing because there's just nowhere to go for Ronnie Pillow right now. He's knocked down on the 41, 4th down.
4th and long, and here comes the punt team, and maybe Pillow will make contact with the football this time, as the last time he kicked it at a -2.
You know, Tommy, as hard as the wind is blowing out of the south, maybe when he went back to punt and pitched it up to punt it, it just blew away from him. And it's really blowing about the same speed it's been all night. This time he line drives it into the end zone. It'll hit on the 4 and roll on into the end zone, and we'll bring it out to the 20. That was a line drive that goes into the end zone, bring it out to the 20. 24-0, Lebanon, 132 in the 3rd quarter.
You know, that's got to be cold on a kicker's foot. that ball, that thing must be frozen solid. And not saying even that your toes aren't frozen. Alex Skullrood comes in a tight end position for Lebanon. Alex getting a few snaps on offense with Scott Ogle still over here on the sideline. Ogle dressed out and has not played yet in the second half because of that arm injury.
Lebanon with a slot right. Triplett stays at quarterback. Runs a reverse. 20, 25, 30, 35, and Bentley fell down on a 35. He had a lot of daylight as they run a reverse to Alan Bentley, and he fell down on a 34 and picked up 14 yards and a 1st down. Alan Bentley.
Bentley coming into the football game had run the football 9 times for 59 yards, averaging about 6.6 yards per carry.
24-0, Lebanon leading Columbia. Lions out of District 8. Inside trap, Gardner. Gardner 35, 40, 45. Cuts it back in on the 49 to the 50 to the 49 of Columbia. Great run, Joe Gardner. Gardner went from the 34, got 17 yards out of it. Barely got across the 50 down to the 49.5 on that sliced trap again.
Bruce, Joe Gardner is not the fastest running back we've got, but Joe knows how to run the football. He keeps it north and south, 17 yards from scrimmage. Columbia is going to take a timeout here and try to slow down this Blue Devil offense. Lebanon leads 24-0 with 48 seconds to go in the 3rd period. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
In Blue Devils with 48 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Lebanon on top, and right now they got a 1st and 10, and the ball just across the 50-yard line in Columbia territory. Slot right, quarters the tailback. Take it, fake a sweep to him, throw it to Tracy Corley, and he gets knocked down for a yard gain. We run that quick screen out there to Tracy Corley, and Columbia played it well. He picked up a yard. We faked a sweep to Reggie Corder and run the quick screen to Tracy Corley, and he got a yard. 2nd and 9.
Reggie, who rushed for over 800 yards last year as the starter at tailback, 36 carries this year, 84 yards, 2.2 yards per carry for the senior Reggie Corder.
16 seconds now here to go in the 3rd quarter. Lebanon up to the line with a 2nd and 9. Take it, and we run Reggie Corder, and then got a little daylight to the 45 and got knocked down and got 4. And the 3rd quarter will end on that carry, and Lebanon will need 5 for a 1st down. At the end of the 3rd quarter, the score, Lebanon Blue Devils 24, Columbia Lions 0, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Playing in front of a certainly less than capacity house tonight. Not much of a crowd at Noakes Lassiter Field, and Bruce, the cold weather and the wind keeping folks inside.
And the wind looks like it's really picked up even more as we look at the flag. The crowd is almost thinned out to nothing. Lebanon's got a 3rd and 5. We're on the 46, and we drop back, and we look, and we look, and we hit Corley, and it went up in the air, and it's intercepted on the 40 to the 45 to the 50. And he's going to circle back now to the 45, and then he comes back to the 50 and gets to the 48. So that pass intercepted on the ricochet. The second time Triplett's been intercepted this year, and it was picked off on the 40 and ran back 12 yards to our 48, where Columbia will take over. Tommy, who was it?
That was Frierson, Tim Frierson, a young man who was not on the original roster, sent to us by Columbia, a late addition. Apparently a guy they've moved up maybe from their B team. Frierson, a sophomore, with the interception and the return. Triplett picked off for the second time this year.
So the ball on a 48 in our territory as we just start the fourth quarter. 11:22 to play, 11:23, or check it, 11:20 now. Run a sweep to Sewell. Sewell cut it in. He may go. He's all the way down to the 24 or 23 yard line. Sewell, the guys